Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Bank, otherwise known as Black Auntie No Kids, and I do appreciate you clicking on the video and joining me as I do reactions, provide commentary, and just give us a place to discuss what's going on here on these YouTube streets. As usual, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel if you already haven't. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I know I've been MIA out here on these YouTube streets. I have not uploaded a video, I don't know since when. I think the last thing I don't think it was even a transcript video I uploaded, and I apologize. And for those of you who knows me, I am Bank, Black Auntie, no kids, and I have come in contact with a lot of you guys because of my Ernest Williams content, primarily the transcripts. And um, I haven't uploaded any transcripts lately. And the reason why is because life. I am an entrepreneur, A-U-N-T-preneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And when money calls, I have to answer. And also, let's be real, up until recently, the transcripts have not been transcribing. You get what I'm saying? It's been a lot of mess. They are now very they are very measured in what they are saying, and they're kind of boring. But like I said, it's not that I don't want to do them or I just forgot about you guys. It's just that life happens. So tonight I've been working actually all day for the last couple weeks. I've been working on a pretty big project for myself. And tonight I've been making some headway, and I was working, I've been working pretty hard, but you have seen me, you guys have seen me out here on these YouTube streets. Hey, everybody who's coming in. Thank you guys. Hey, Shelly C. and Vic to the Veil, of course. Yes. Hey, Vic. Hey, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I just decided to go ahead and push the live button. I said, what the heck? I'm up and I can't sleep, and that's nothing new. But today, YouTube recommended a video to me, and I had subscribed to this young lady about a month and a half ago. Her name is, I think it's LaShan. Let me look at it. Let me make sure I want to represent. It's Nashan Clay, and the reason why I subscribed to her was because she was taking these tours through city hoods, and she was taking a tour through hoods in my city. And so I went ahead, I looked at the video, and I really got what she was doing. Hey, obsessed with the mess. Hey, lady, long time no see. I'm glad you're here tonight. I'm up and I can't sleep. I'll be honest with you. And that, again, that's nothing new. But I'm like, okay, I want to watch this video. Then I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is a good way for me to reach out to the people who have rocked with me and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, even though I've been MIA, and Vicky, let me just say to you, sis, it seems so easy to hit that live button, but it really isn't. So even though I egg you on about going live and I want to hear your voice, I understand. And then for me, I there has been many a times way back that I wanted to hit the live button, then something would happen. Or the perfectionist in me would kick in, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to go live. But to be honest, let me just say this real quick about the transcripts. They are out there. I have the latest ones. Well, I think I have them up until like the 12th of May, but it takes a lot of time to do those, and I just haven't had the time. And they're not really talking about anything. But I have been keeping up with all the Nesto drama. Hey, Southside Chi Town. Hey, lady. I've been keeping up with everything. And if you guys have seen me in some of the chats, I've been out here. I've been keeping up. And let me tell you something. Woo, child, what's going on now? It's a mess. I mean, it stays a mess, and it stays messy. And it's like the story that keeps on giving. But I try to stay in my lane, and I think a lot of you guys have you know like reacting to a video or something. Somebody's already done it, and what more can I say? And to be quite honest, I like commentating. But tonight I said, you know what? Let's get some practice in. So bear with me. Bear with me as I ramble. So, oh, sorry. Back to what I'm doing tonight. The reason why I went ahead and hit the go live button is that this video popped up to me as a recommend. The video, let me go ahead and put it up so you guys can see it. That way you'll know what I'm talking about here. Let me go ahead. Okay, so this video pops up and it says Cincinnati Hood, 5400 Winton Terrace, the trench, up top, bottom, sorry, down, bottom, brick city. And I'm like, oh, Winton Terrace. So this is my city. This is the hood. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to see it from the perspective of an outsider and also from the people who live there. What do they think about it today? Because Brick City, as we call Winton Terrace, has been around forever. And I didn't do the research. I didn't do the research. I can't tell you how long, but I do know this. My cousins grew up in Winton Terrace. My sister, when she was a young married woman, young mom, her husband moved her down there. That's a story for another day. But we're talking about, oh, gosh, about 40 years ago. And it's always been the hood because it was predominantly black, but it had a sense of community. So this picture, actually the video up now. I was looking at it, I'm like, that don't look like Winton Terrace because there's towers behind there, and there was really no towers in Winton Terrace. But I do remember watching another one of her videos where she was in this particular location. I thought, well, maybe this is the same video, and it is Winton Terrace. And everybody, well, I wouldn't say everybody. I don't know. I'm just judging right now, but a lot of people know what the hood is. If you didn't grow up in the hood, you have family members that grew up in the quote unquote hood. Every major metropolitan city has a hood. And I would say people sleep on Cincinnati because in the state of Ohio, you have Columbus and Cleveland gets all the shine when it comes to like the street cred, the hood thingamajig. A lot of people don't think about Cincinnati, I don't think. But yeah, it could get rough. It can get rough and it can get tough. And my earliest memories was, it was it was a housing complex. I grew up in a neighborhood in a home. Okay. Now I was born in a quote unquote housing project, but I was so young I don't remember. But all of my life or my younger years, I grew up in a home. My parents was it was a two-parent home. So when my sister, I always knew my cousins were down there. They were boy cousins. But when my sister moved down there with her kids, I was down there a lot more because going to see her and the kids. Let's see. You said Project Southside Chi-Town has a question here. Let's see. Um, Project Section 8 look like ours. At one point, Winter's did take sec. Well, you know what? There were always metropolitan housing. I don't know necessarily if they quote unquote went under the Section 8 guidelines or if they had a separate program. But it is funny that when you go from city to city, because I watched some other videos from other cities just kind of here and there, and it's like there was like a blueprint for the projects. Now this pic right now, what you're seeing right now, I kind of watched the beginning of this just to see if I wanted to go ahead and go live. She's actually in what we call our downtown or our West End area. It's close to our downtown. But it's funny because when I first looked at it, I'm like, well, it looks like the housing in Winton Terrace. So I think there's like a blueprint. But anyway, that's where, my sister moved down to Winton Terrace. That's when I really got like super familiar with the area. And as I play the video, we'll talk about it more. But I just thought it was interesting. And I believe this young lady is very brave. I think what she's doing is very smart. It could be a little, I wouldn't say dangerous, but you just have to be very aware. I have opinions about what these young men have to say now in conjunction with me being a Gen Xer, being around Winton Terrace or familiar with the area or any of the housing projects or the quote unquote low income areas in the city. Um, Things have changed a lot. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. So I'm not gonna hold you guys. I want to entertain you guys. And again, this is in my city. This a particular neighborhood she's going to introduce you to is called Winton Terrace, or I mean, the area is called Winton Terrace, and it's made up of housing projects. Sorry, of subsidized metropolitan housing, possibly Section 8 now. I'm not sure today. it's very large. It's big. So let's see what you guys think, and then we could talk about maybe hoods in your city or where you grew up, and like Southside Chi-Town said, the similarities.
Oh, so what's up, guys, man? Welcome back. I don't want to start the video. So right now we are still in Cincinnati, Ohio, and
I knew YouTube was gonna act a
I
fool.
am
I
in the
started
middle
to
of the
download this
projects right
video
now.
and just play the
I see some
video.
towers in the back. If you from Cincinnati, you know exactly where I'm at. Y'all know my videos. My videos really show like another side of the ghettos and just different things like that. But today was going to be a little bit different. I wanted to make today different in a sense because um, it's screaming. Anyways, I wanted to make today a little bit different. Um, I don't know, man. I want to show y'all those towers back there because I never really saw towers like that before. You know, those towers right there. It's crazy. This is really the projects. I'm literally dead in the projects right now. I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit when I get to my car, um, so y'all can get a little bit understanding of this video compared to my other videos. My other videos, you more so see interviews and stuff like that. But today, um, it's a little bit different today. And once I get to my car, I'll talk to y'all. Okay, I am back into my car. Okay, this video is a little bit different compared to my other videos. Most of my other videos, you see interviews and stuff like that. But this video, more so, I just want to show the inside of these communities, different ones in a sense. Really, it allows a lot of people to see like it's ghettos everywhere in America. And this is one ghetto that I'm in. Most of the people that live here are black people. I just saw a whole bunch of kids coming out of that tower right there. This neighborhood right here is known for the same things you see in the ghettos. The same thing you saw in my ghetto. Every hood is known for the same thing, and these communities kind of touch me because I come from the same thing. I just come from a different city. Like I'm from the ghetto. Y'all know that already. If y'all don't know, from Cincinnati, I come from the ghetto myself. My neighborhood that I grew up in is called 42nd and Post Road in Indianapolis. You can Google it and you can literally see like we literally going through the same stuff. So I wanted to show y'all this building right here. We miss you. And yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Like when I show y'all these videos, I really try to show y'all something bigger. I try to show y'all like a bigger picture of what's really happening inside the ghettos. Like it's this stuff is literally happening everywhere in America, and it's more so I want to say in a lot of black communities, this is literally like what you see. And I don't know, I be trying to spark y'all minds a little bit and show y'all something different or make y'all think a little bit different of what's happening in this, like in a lot of communities, like my community. If you came into my community, you would see the same exact stuff, literally. And this is what I grew up in and stuff like that. And it's kind of crazy to like see this stuff. You get what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I just want y'all to see like this stuff is not normal. You know, like this is not normal. Like it's the same cycle. It's the same sad story in the ghetto. Like right now, I'm in the middle of a ghetto. You know, and this is the same environment that I grew up in. It's a different city and it looks different, but this is the same stuff. In my neighborhood, when you walk down the street, you see shoes on the wire, you see candlelights, you see the same sad story. You see the kids in the projects, um, poverty.
Tell me that part. I was trying to talk to you in the chat. I was switching back to my YouTube studio versus StreamYard because StreamYard doesn't let me at people. It doesn't highlight like it does in YouTube, and I can do that from my studio, but it was acting up. It's funny that you're coming back on June 13th. I'm trying to get out of Cincinnati. I'm not just trying to get out of Cincinnati. I'm trying to get out of the United States. My butt is trying to head back to Thailand. But right now, she's downtown in the West End. So, like I said, that's very close to our downtown area, our quote unquote business district. And she's headed up to the Terrace. Hey, Miss Buckeye, thank you for joining us. I don't know. Yeah, I think we talked before that. Did you go to Ohio State? Let me know. Or are you just from the Ohio? Are you from Ohio? Because I remember us having a conversation um, about this, and yeah, so I just thought this was pretty good. It picks up a little bit. I don't honestly. I this part here is still interesting to me, so I'm hoping that it is to you guys. It's giving more of her background and why she's doing what she's doing. But yeah, I can see that. Tell me that part. You know, when your parents start getting older. My mom is super independent. You know, she's walking around and moving better than I am. She's still cutting grass, playing gardens, working full time. She won't quit. But I understand completely because listen, it's you know, they're your parents. And Cincinnati is not a bad place. I'm not trying to escape because I think Cincinnati is a bad place. At one point, I wouldn't say I ever thought it was bad. I just thought it was boring, and I wanted to live a different kind of life that I thought I can get outside of Cincinnati. But the older I got, the more stable I got, the closer I got attached to family, and I just didn't want to leave. But now I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Hey, I said what I said. If you're just coming in, I am kind of showing my city off, parts of my city. And listen, I don't have any animus or any kind of I don't look down on people who quote unquote lived in the hood because let me tell you something. A lot of my family came from the hood, and one thing they had was community, and that's something that they impart on me as an adult, the sense of community. So even though these areas are considered a little rough or hoodish or even a little ran down, at least in my time, and I'm a Gen Xer, they were community. And when you say like right now today, if anybody say they're from Brick City, that's like cred, and it's something that people kind of connect with. And just an aside, Lincoln Heights is not far from where I live. It's a suburb of Cincinnati, and if you're familiar, Lincoln Heights was the people who stood up to the KKK and the white supremacists coming into their neighborhood, and they ran them right out. And they're called Zone 15, and I'm not sure if she took a walk through Lincoln Heights, but they're not to be played with, and the Terrace is not to be played with. And this is just one of many hoods in my city. So Cincinnati is not like a place to play. Ask Ti. He came here and tried to play around 20 something years ago, and God rest his soul to the young man who lost his life. But you got to know where you're at. We're in the Midwest, and we may be a little on the southern tip of Ohio, close to Indiana and Kentucky, but it's a city. Yes, yes, tell me that part. It's the Terrace. Who's this? Miss Mesmerized. My grandparents lived there their whole lives. Their son graduated from university in 2012. Um, are you talking about Lincoln Heights, or are you talking about Winton Terrace or another city? Oh, you're in Cleveland. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ohio's the Midwest. It's if you go to the major cities, Columbus, I don't have a lot. I mean, I have some experience with. I went to Ohio State briefly. My sister went there for 4 years. I was there up in Ohio State all the time, but I was in the college area. But I do know that just about, like I said, any metropolitan city has a hood. So, but she's making her way right now up to Winton Terrace. And she's going to talk to some YNs. I hate calling them YNs, but that's what they call themselves. I rather call them YMs, young men, but they're young ninjas. And yeah, to get their perspective on the living there is very interesting. So we'll get there. Just bear with us.
They could probably come from a lot of households that dad's not present. He in jail. If he is around, it's if mama's around, mama's in a certain state, as in mentally and how like the image wise and just different things like that. And it's sad, bro. It's not this stuff is not normal. It's not normal, and I want like the world to see that. When I make these type of videos, when I don't do hood vlogs, I want y'all to see like this stuff is not normal. Something has to give and something has to change, but it is within the system. If you get what I'm saying, um, this stuff is definitely within the system, and it's literally designed this way purposely. Like when you look into our school systems, I guarantee you, the school system that's out here has a lot of problems. It has a lot of behavior issues, and I guarantee you, a lot of those kids who have behavior issues are getting put out of the schools and suspended or expelled, and they're not actually helped. Like a lot of these.
By the way, she does cover, like I said, a lot of the neighborhoods in the Ohio, like Indiana area and Kentucky. But there's tons of videos out there. Driving through the different neighborhoods, and I would love, for someone from another neighborhood to, you know, talk me through one of these videos. So maybe I'll do another live, with the different cities that I'm not familiar with, and we can kind of talk about what's going on in that particular city.
These kids come from trauma. They come from trauma. And when the brain reacts to trauma, it can cause behaviors. And I feel like this stuff has been going on way before my time. And I feel like the system and schools and all these people in these seats, they know what's happening. They know the issues and they know the root cause. But the system is designed to constantly kick us out because school is a pipeline to prison. And prison is one of the biggest businesses in America. And the people in the ghettos are literally the main target of this system. That's why you don't see the system getting better, because it wasn't designed to get better. It was designed to react in this way that we see currently.
Now we about to go out.
Okay, she's made it to the terrace, and I'm wondering, just looking at the street. Listen, I think I'm a little bit more familiar than I thought.
Yeah, drink.
But there's a lot of dead ends. I'm thinking craft, but I'm not sure. We'll see what they say.
This where that shit really get wakey. This is where Terrace, Ohio.
All right, where we at right now?
Yeah, we're in Terrace, Ohio,
We're on
man.
the south side, man. They know what the fuck going on.
South side.
We're on the south with it, man.
Hey, Sanders are in.
This where shit get wicked late night. Niggas don't want to come down here, man.
No, I got
Real.
The worst hood in the natty. On life, we in the church with it. All y'all niggas bitches, bro.
Y'all niggas walking around here with Billy ARPs and buttons. Look, bro, don't put it out on here. Just know these little niggas turn.
You say ATM tried to hit the spot.
Very
Come on,
smart.
man.
Yeah, man, we in the trenches right now, man. That's Hollow Block South Side. Shit, man.
All right, so tell the viewers more about this area that don't really know about Cincinnati.
Don't come over here. You ain't from over here.
Don't come around in this nigga shit
When
again.
you come around this bitch, you go get boxed
My bad,
up.
brother. My bad, but I done fucked up I don't even know why he got those bitches on in the rain. Trench. They call this shit the trench. This shit destroys shoes.
We got the study to look good.
Really call it the exit. They call it the exit 2, exit 6. You feel me? The bricks. Brick City. Subway. I ain't got no weight, bro.
That's little nigga don't never wash his nuts. He been dirty.
Yo,
They know what the fuck going on. Y'all know what the fuck going on.
Smoking straight dead off the face.
Yeah. Hey, and if this dad's fucking, they gonna die. Fuck it.
Hey, look. We had a motherfucking street sign at the top of our shit. I don't know where that bitch went.
That bitch in my house. Oh, bro, that bitch in my house.
If we get flipped, we use a big man as our shield.
And niggas know how wicked this
Damn,
shit
it's crazy. I'm just now peeping at online.
They tripping. Cut down this bitch at 25 miles per hour. What? Hey, so what? What's gonna happen? No, hey, look, tell them don't come down this bitch speeding. That bitch will get stopped. That bitch, 25 miles per hour, so that bitch
Amos
will get
Boogie
blew
down.
down on my baby.
Man, fuck 25.
The language, my goodness.
Don't even come down this motherfucker looking wrong.
Fit in.
This motherfucker one way in, one way out.
You feel me?
Hey, let me get a thumbnail right here.
Look, hold on. Put him on the floor. Look, top bands.
Top bands?
Look.
Oh, that's top bands?
Yeah.
Look. Oh, you put them on there? Put top bands
I
on
can stand
there.
right
Put
here.
top bands on there. Yeah, top bands.
Free tone, nigga.
Yeah, free chop, free for them dunkers, man.
Free the guys, man.
Don't let them
Free
butter,
the guys, man. Don't let do it, man. Load of the bricks.
You got to stand right there.
Don't let do butter. We been spent it. Free AP.
Long ammo, free ammo.
Free scroll, man.
Hold on, bro. Long live my niggas Jans. Long live my niggas Zan umbrella.
Long live my nigga Zaya for sure. That on my mama, that shit tatty.
Long live Zuddy too. No bullshit.
No bullshit.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah. Pictures.
Yeah.
Well, what y'all doing?
Hey, come on. My nigga ain't trying to get his done. I ain't even trying to cross over there. Brother, look. Just step right there. Look. This way. Look, just step right there, brother. Boom, boom. Yeah, we get it.
All right.
They lucky. Hey, we doing the interview,
I
nigga.
got you.
We doing the interview, nigga.
Damn, my whole
Oh, my brother. You bullshit.
Hey, I started to call you too, though. That's just crazy.
We on holler, nigga. We doing the interview
Got some
right
questions.
now.
What? She got some questions, Doug.
Who gonna be the main? Y'all gonna all answer?
We can all answer, but
I answer.
he a
I
rapper,
answer.
though. That's why I'm
All right. First, let me. Who do music?
B, I do music.
You do music?
Yeah, my shit do numbers. My shit do numbers.
So
My
where-
dad Lil Dub, man.
So
Cincinnati,
spell it out.
Ohio.
Spell it out.
LILDUB.
Bet. I'm gonna tag you. So I do got some questions for y'all.
What's the questions you got for us?
Just make people more interested. So tell us a little bit about the area right now. More so, tell us about y'all neighborhood for people that don't know about Cincinnati.
Shit, our neighborhood, motherfuckers hate our neighborhood. Motherfuckers always say we the Jankies. Motherfuckers always come out here and get robbed and popped up and shit. But I think that's just cause like this shit right here more like a family. You feel me?
Oriented.
Everybody know each other. You feel me? Everybody respect each other from the top of this shit to the bottom of this shit.
Okay, I know he's a young man and he has his point of view, but that's every hood. Every hood has their own, they know the people in the hood. They think they're the roughest and the toughest. Because let me tell you, I used to drive in and out of the Terrace, and I'm not afraid to drive through it today. There's no reason for me to be there. I was only there when I was because of family. But there's some neighborhoods that I'm not familiar with, and they are just as quote unquote janky as he's saying, if that's the word or that's what he's trying to convey. Everybody thinks they're the toughest. And, again, I'm Gen X. It's been, 40, 30 years ago when we were riding up and down Winton, which is the main vein that rides or goes through Winton Terrace. They soft, they ain't got those hands. They got the pows, and I say soft because they don't use their skills to get by. and so it can be dangerous. So I'm not saying that it's not like someplace you want to keep your head in a swivel, but everybody, this is just one. Cincinnati is very big, okay? This is just one, and she goes through quite a few of the the neighborhoods, and I don't know how to judge it. I would say, um, today it's still a toss up. Even back then when I was more familiar with the place, it was a toss up. It really comes down to, are you in a spot where you need whether, let's put it this way, if you had no business being there and you're trying to be grimy, you may get caught up. But that was just any neighborhood or any, because Cincinnati is made up of 52 neighborhoods, okay? And everybody's territorial. Even the neighborhood I grew up in, and the neighborhood I grew up in consisted of middle class families. Okay, worked with two parents, homeowners, no housing projects, but it was our neighborhood. So, he gonna talk his stuff. He gonna pop his ish, and that's what these young people do.
All type of shit. Like it's just like when motherfuckers come out here, it be different hoods and shit. So when they get robbed or something, they go back to their hood and tell they niggas, and it be a lot of beef and shit. So it's like for real, where Terrace and shit, the most hated, like out of Cincinnati, Ohio, for real. Like, niggas be talking bad on us and shit, but that's it for real.
Come out with you, dog.
So what y'all mostly known for?
Spanking ass. Spanking ass.
Spanking ass.
Look, spanking ass. Got money.
Hey,
Look, no, we'll promote spanking ass.
Strike some, bro.
Hey,
You gotta go.
no,
You gotta go on the ground, y'all. Too.
Nah,
Like,
look,
over. Man,
look,
look.
for real, look, manly.
It's schoomers.
Making
Real
music,
schoomers
feel
over
me?
here.
Hey, nah, no. Feel me? We ain't dropping no days or nothing.
Just being honest.
We ain't dropping no days or nothing, man.
All right, what's some positive stuff y'all got going on out here?
Shit.
We ain't slime. We work together. We ain't like every other hood, though. We work together.
Like on some real positive shit, though, I can say most of my little niggas right here, they got a good hustle. These little niggas know how to hustle. These little niggas know how to get money. They know how to sell shit. They know how to go get anything they need.
And they ain't selling drugs. They
ain't talking about drugs, car fresheners, waters, incense, anything. You feel me?
Like we
My
get
little
on them
niggas out here
and
hustling.
money, they
They ain't out here, you feel me, carrying guns and shit. These little niggas, feel me? We ain't telling these little niggas to be gangster. We ain't telling these little niggas to be trappers. We ain't telling these little niggas, you feel me, to do whatever. You feel me? They almost.
She can't drive.
I don't know what she on, but
I don't know what they are.
look,
I
though.
want to walk and just talk.
Yeah, we can walk. I'm gonna tell you some stories though. I got some shit to tell y'all though. Oh, some real shit. Hold on though. I wanna go take the shiesty out, but long live my nigga Zan though, for real, nigga. On my mama, nigga, that we grew up on this block, nigga. No bullshit. Long live Jordan too, nigga. No
Go
bullshit.
through those boots up there.
There just be shit going on, man. Them motherfuckers probably been up there when we was young.
You heard me? Them motherfuckers been up there for years. Hey, nah, though, like at least 5 years plus, at least.
It's so funny listening to these young men talking about, I grew up here. Listen, I knew winter was a thing while they were still chilling in their daddy's nutsack. And let's keep it 100. And I don't know. They look like they're little kids to me because they ain't tough. My oldest nephew, he is 42, and he grew up pretty much from the age since he was walking to he was probably, I think my sister moved them away from Winton Terrace. He had to be around, oh God, around 14 maybe. So she was there for quite a bit of time. And he could tell you some stories and he would laugh at this. I mean, he could tell you some stories. And my favorite story is that he was always talking about he was running from somebody's dog. But you had to knuckle up. He was like, listen, if you was gonna play out in the streets in Winton Terrace, somebody was gonna try you and you had to, prove your word. So fighting, it may be something you have to do. And it was, like I said, with fists. It wasn't with the pow pows. And I said what I said. I saw your comment. You said looks quite clean. and I paused to hear. Let me move the closed caption out of the way. Um, but yeah, it was. That's the thing about quote unquote hoods is that people assume that they don't take pride. I remember my sister's uncle-in-law, I guess you can call him that. He lived down in Winton Terrace, and he raised his family there. And I remember going into his townhouse because they have townhouses, and that thing was laid out. My cousins grew up on what they call the four-way, and telling me that part might know, or anybody's familiar, the four-way was a Winnesty Dutch colony, and that was the hot, the block was hot there. But that's where they grew up at, and they're still walking around. It was a community, but it was tough. I mean, it was like any neighborhood, especially with close quarters. You were gonna have to prove your bona fides. You might have to, squabble a little bit. Um, yeah, the generational poverty. But I don't know anybody that lived in Winton Terrace that's still down there. Like I said, back then, it wasn't necessarily. I mean, they both worked full time jobs. My sister, uh, uh, her husband's uncle and his wife, they worked full time jobs. They had nice cars. The rent was a little cheaper, and they had kids. And again, all their kids survived. My parents, both my parents, well, my dad particularly grew up in the Laurel Homes, and that's considered the West End where she came from. And like I said, I feel young, but when I look back, I realized that like in the 80s, when I really became like a fully realized person, that we were only like what 20 years, if even that, from the civil rights movement, from desegregation. And a lot of us stayed in these communities because number one is where we were from, and number two, redlining. People weren't trying to give us space to be around them. So um that is what I always got, that it's not necessarily the place, it's how you live. I still hold to that, and I get that. Um, tell me that part. You said I was speaking on the boys who stated they'd grown up there. Unfortunately, some of their families have no choice. That is true, and even now, like I said, when I had this was about 10 years ago. I had was just starting a new job, and so now when you start a new job, the health insurance don't kick in right away. So I didn't have there was a gap in my health insurance. I had to wait. I believe for that particular company, it might have been 90 days. And at the time, I had just gotten diagnosed with high blood pressure, and my thyroid wasn't working, and other things was going on, and I needed to go to a doctor. And the clinic that was available to me that would take me on a sliding scale was in Winton Terrace, and it's right on Winnesty. And I'm like, okay, you got to do what you got to do because you want to stay alive. And I would go down there, and it's right across the street from a school actually. So I still kind of go through there, and it's not very far from the neighborhood where my mom still lives. But it's very relatively quiet, like especially during the day and the afternoon. People go to work, people are doing things. It's not just all out chaos. Like, these young men are walking around. I know maybe in the evening or late at night, they're out and about. But for the most part, if you are minding your business and you're not out there to cause trouble is not looking for you per se. Now, like I said, these young men are representing this place to be like, the toughest of the toughest and the roughest of the roughest. It can be. I think any place can be. But I think Winton Terrace's reputation is precedes itself. I'm not going to say maybe it's me, the ex cop in me. There's not a neighborhood in the city that I'm afraid to go to because it's populated by my people, and I'm not scared of my people. I've not gotten to a place where I'm scared of my people. I take, each situation as it comes. We have neighborhoods that are predominantly white, And I want to tell you right now, you have to look out for yourself there too. So I get what you're saying though. Tell me that part. I get exactly what you're saying. I think also too, I don't know how much exaggeration is going on with these young men, but I also know we're in different times. Social media has shown us that we are in different times. And my perception is kind of days gone. But I remember, when let's just put it this way, the dope game was hot, and in the neighborhoods, the dope game, that part of the neighborhood, you knew where not to be. You knew at a certain time you may not want to be in that area. But from the day to day, everyday living, um, like I said, my relatives survived the terrace. They wear it as a sense of pride, as a badge. Somebody asked them where they're from. They're like, I'm from Brick City. And that gives them automatic cred. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you guys understand what I'm saying, because I think most of you guys are from larger cities, and you're familiar with different these type of areas. You may have grown up in them, or you had relatives in that area. But I guess it was because I'm not afraid of my people. I find it interesting, and that's why I put up this National Geographic. It's like National Geographic. It's looking at people from different backgrounds, different environments, and not scrutinizing them or judging them, but just kind of observing them in their environment.
On some
Cause
real
we
shit
done had
though.
boxing matches up here in Samoa. I ain't gonna lie. We had
So y'all all grew up here?
yeah,
Most of us.
we from different areas, but everybody knew
But
each
all of us really
I'm
from this hood.
from
Like
this hood.
all this shit together, we from this hood. But it's like different parts of this shit. Like sometimes this shit be split it up.
Like what you asked me, like when you first came up here,
Yeah.
like the bottom, like you feel me? You
Oh,
see
okay,
them
yeah.
buildings way different than these buildings.
I ain't
Like,
gonna lie,
everybody
for real,
together though.
You said, look, I ain't gonna lie, I really want to take a trip down there though, cause that's gonna be way different experience. Like I'm good
go down there.
anywhere, like anywhere through
I
the
hear you,
hood, we
champion.
good, gang. Like it's just a lot of shit. Them niggas down there, but that shit funny. It's a different love
Yeah, it's
down
a
there
different
though,
love
for
down
sure.
there. Ain't
It's a
nothing but
different
old
love.
heads and
You
shit
feel
like
me?
All right, so tell the viewers the difference. So right now we in another
that.
complex,
Nah, this
but
real treacherous right
down
here.
in here it's another one.
Yeah,
Right.
nah, that's all love down there.
So this right here, like this shit like the clean part.
Yeah.
This
That's
more
real-
like the clean part, but this shit get violent. But this
Yeah.
more like the clean part of this shit. Like down there, you're gonna
They
see
don't
hella
give a fuck.
beds and dirty
Churches.
shit and hella dirty ass
Trenches
shit
and
going
shit,
on
though.
down there. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that shit.
But this is churches.
Yeah, this the trenches
So
though.
just to clarify, Wind Terrace is a huge complex. I mean, it's a huge housing projects, and they're divided up with different managements. The only ones that I can think of, there was Metropolitan, and then there was like Finlater Gardens, and he's saying up there, down there. Now, to kind of give you a visual, the main street that runs along or inside of Winton Terrace is called Winnesty, and Winnesty starts at the top of a hill and it goes down to the bottom of the hill. The other street that runs parallel to Winnesty, which it's a major traffic thoroughway. A lot of people travel that. Coming from the suburbs is called Winton Road. So it's a very steep hill. In actuality, Winton Terrace is kind of built in an industrial area. Of course, nobody will be surprised when I say this, that there was at one time a dump right across the street. On It was on Winton Road, but it was a dump on the other side of it. There is another road that kind of runs parallel, and so Winnesty would be in between Winton Road um, and Center Hill, where one of the largest manufacturers or biggest companies, you guys have heard of them, Procter and Gamble. They have offices and labs on this particular street. But it's an industrial area. It's not the best looking space. This is why it hasn't been gentrified, because if it was prime real estate, it would have been gentrified. So it's not the best place. The landfill is gone, but it's a hill. It's a very big hill. So when he says lower, he's talking about, and I'm not sure if that's considered Finlater Garden. I don't know who manages that now, but one of the major streets or the main street, and it's not even a big street, but it's called Craft. And when stuff goes down, it will go down on Craft Street. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's always been like that, even when I was younger. So when they say upper and lower, that's what he's talking about. It basically it's these are housing projects built on a very long hill.
For sure.
The real trenches.
The real trenches.
I don't know about everybody else calling they shit the trenches.
Yeah, this the real trench. Like, niggas start naming they shit the trench. This the real trenches.
No bullshit. You know how niggas say
no
people don't come to
bullshit.
their hood. Nobody come here. You can't have you sell motherfucker you in the T. They hell
Man,
nah.
hey, look, this shit so real. You can't even get no pizza delivered
Yeah,
around this
don't
bitch.
nobody. Only one
No
place
pizza-
deliver out here.
One pizza place, gang, and they black as hell. They really hood for
You
real
want
too.
any food? You got a DoorDash.
We can't get no motherfucking little Roses, no none of that, no Domino's, no none of that, Little Caesars, no none of that. DoorDash that shit.
DoorDash everything.
Oh no, why they don't be coming down here? This the only hood, you feel me? They don't be coming down here.
Only food place close here is McDonald's.
Shit,
Do y'all
nigga.
feel like that can change though?
I mean, I feel like it should change, but I don't blame them though, cause there's a lot of niggas be robbing a piece of mans. I ain't gonna lie, niggas be robbing piece of mans out here, so I don't really blame they ass not trying to come out this bitch. You feel me?
Like, look at this shit. This trench.
I ain't gonna lie, look though, what's so crazy about this shit? I'm gonna say something about this house right here.
Oh,
Right there. That's my nigga Izzy old house right here. There's a lot of shit went on in this house, y'all. I'm talking about a lot of shit. I almost did. Killed my nigga in this house. Shot the gun on accident. Hella shit.
In the trash can over
Putting niggas, we used to be a dumpster right here. We done threw a
And
nigga
how
in a
much is
dumpster
that
right
Winton
here.
Terrace and how much
I ain't
you
gonna say
did
what else
this
we did
young
to him,
man?
y'all. I ain't gonna say what else we.
fuck that. Motherfucker roll him down that bitch.
Hey, nah, I used to be a dumpster right here. I don't know where that bitch went.
So what's your life stories and stuff like that?
Shit.
Shit, we some young niggas that had to move straight. You feel me? Move grown up.
Tell me that part. I think she covered with sorry, English Woods. I should do a live on that if I find it.
What?
I got hella stories about this specific street. Like, y'all see how this a dead end and shit, right? We used to pull. Look, that's a dead end down there too. That's just a daycare though. But boom, this street right here, we used to steal so many cars back in the day, right?
No,
Our police district, they changed our police district to a different district.
fucking with us.
You feel me?
They couldn't catch us.
Our old district couldn't fuck with us. Like, they was scared to really come around this bitch, come out this bitch and shit. So we used to be pulling hella stolen cars down this bitch, like nursing home vans, scats, Durangos, Camaros,
Let me let it be.
Benzes.
Blue Daytona. We was the first motherfucker. Blue Daytona. Look, people don't fuck with our city. We was the first young niggas ain't no motherfucking streets.
Hey,
We had them.
fuck a pro pad. We ain't got no pro pad. We weren't stealing kill boys.
We had straight.
We had real
LRTs, tractors,
feel me?
we had young boys.
shit going on. We taking trips to go get this shit. Like real
we
shit.
we driving 30 minutes hour away.
Free love Papa, for real.
Yeah, free Papa, baby
Free
driver.
Papa, real baby driver.
I have to pause here, being ex law enforcement and not being that far away from being dispatched for the local university. But they had plate readers on Winesta. They still have them, and it's not a secret. So I'm not telling anything that's not true. And he is right about quote unquote they changed their district. What happened was Cincinnati police was made up of 5 districts. It was District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because just like a lot of cities, Cincinnati is having problems with recruiting new officers, and they were stretched thin. So District 5 used to handle Winton Terrace, and actually a very, very good friend of mine who retired as a Cincinnati police officer, he started out in District 5, and he used to run, and they call this beat. I believe that Winton Terrace was beat 3, if I'm not mistaken, and he used to run beat 3, and they didn't slack on them boys. They just were busy. You know, the police are busy chasing. We call it chasing the radio, and they weren't getting away any more than anybody else because let me tell you, the plate readers were around, and they're putting off like they were running the city, and people were scared to come up through here. No, they were not scared to come up through the terrace. And let me just tell you, because of the terrace, there's a particular area where I can get to the highway, and I would have to go through a section of the city. It's called now they call it Spring Grove Village, but it used to be called Winton Terrace. place. And I avoid it only because, these YNs, young men, I won't say like them because I'm not going to judge them. They're talking. I'm going to assume, but they said they were still in cars. I didn't like to drive through there because they drive reckless. So, I just like, I try to avoid the area, but the city police wasn't scared of them. Now, I will say the Kia Boys was not a thing in my city. They steal anything. If a lot of DoorDash and these gig workers who do food delivery, they will leave their cars running, and most of these stolen cars were going to end up either in Winton Terrace or on the west side. And when I say the west side, it's called Price Hill, the Price Hill area. That's where these cars were going to end up. But yeah, so what happened was, like I was saying, is because they had the numbers of police officers were dwindling. They got rid of District 5, so now there's just four, and they did a lot of combining. District 4, when he's saying that District 4, I guess he's assuming they're more aggressive. I don't know if it's perception because I'm no longer in dispatch to hear the radio, but I like this tough talk. I mean, in the sense that I don't like it like in glorifying it, but I'm sitting here with a smile on my face because it's like it's funny to me, and I think every generation does it. They think they invented something new, but what they're doing is not new, and the city has a plan for them. Unfortunately, they get caught in the crosshairs, and there's a lot of you guys know that more recently we had a police pow incident here. We call them police interventions, and you two might like that better, where the father went and unalived a sheriff deputy that was doing traffic control pretty much the next day. So we got a lot going on in this city. We got a lot going on. And I said what I said. She's here in the chat. She did a live about that particular incident. It's being covered. Um, I have been keeping up with it kind of on a peripheral because I feel like I because I wouldn't say mixed feelings, but I have a perspective that's probably unique, being an ex law enforcement officer for that particular agency and being a black woman. So, yeah, I haven't delved into that too much.
Driver, man. My nigga got some time, man. My nigga gonna be back though. My nigga gonna be back. Free little papa, man. Real baby driver, man. For
Let's
real.
go to the bottom side.
Nigga, you forget
Huh?
Let's go to the other side.
Yeah.
Hold on, look, record this.
Hold on, what you talking about down?
Free my brother, man. Free
We don't have
strong,
to
bro.
get on the car. We
We
can
on the
take a
phone
couple
right now.
You want to
Picking up the jail car.
It ain't good down there?
Shit, nah. It ain't like he just fresh as hell. He ain't trying to keep walking and
You know
shit.
it's dirty down there.
Yeah, it's dirty down. It's way dirty down there.
Really a sidewalk
Yeah,
down
we can go down there though.
Or we can't walk or just.
Oh nah, hell nah. That shit like
That's muddy
That's a
dead
walk.
end. We gotta
yeah,
walk
that's a
through
walk. We
woods.
can drive though.
All right.
Yeah, I'm outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, there go niggas right here.
Oh, what's that?
Love to you.
Ah.
I know this nigga ain't valid just to do. He stay doing this shit, bro.
Hey, this nigga stay. Hey, my nigga on the box right now. He don't get a fuck.
He don't get
come
no
outside.
fuck. He come outside, bro.
Yo,
Yeah, you still need this, but
you know we on big interview shit.
Look, I ain't gonna tell you, look, I'm gonna let
You
you
doing
know.
an interview?
Me, I am who I am. I done took a nigga J.
let's go.
Dang, I ain't
I
even
done took a
recorded.
nigga Kit. They can't.
Alright.
What's on my brother?
Why, bro? Why?
I was mad as hell.
It's right here.
See what you want to say, something?
Huh?
You want to say something?
Say something, little T.
Hey, hold on. Matter of
Let
fact,
me say something. Huh? You want to say something? Huh? Say something, brother.
no, no bullshit. Free the scat, man. Hey, nah though.
Man, free the scat.
Hey, where my little niggas at, man? Come introduce yourself, man. Tell them what y'all want. Come on, y'all.
Love Jose. Man, look, man, nigga, we straight motivation trying to get that check on life. Make sure my little brother's head straight on bro. Bro, my niggas, they gonna be rich niggas in the future on life, going checking on niggas' head.
No, you probably got one more.
Candlelight right there. So
So look, where we at right now? We in second lot. You feel me? That's where everybody used to hang at. You feel me? Cousin house, my old house right there. Everybody used to be at my house. They used to have little shooting, little gambling games right here, whatever.
y'all both y'all from this end, the other one.
Both up top. We live up top and up top, but we used to mainly be right here. Well, I used to mainly be right here, unless I was going to go hoop at the rec center. Him used to mainly be down here until people moved away. Then he vanished up top.
I'm back on up top. Y'all just moved down here before when I came down here. I came back down this bitch. I used to stay be in this house.
Will the city be involved to like give y'all some positive stuff, or they just be like a
Yeah,
big?
yeah.
They
At
do?
the rent office. At the rent
Yeah,
office where
like
we rode past. Well, we gonna get there in a minute, but they be having little events. They be having little
for the
black,
kids now, like
yeah,
they make sure the kids don't
like
come out
gatherings,
like how we
karate
do it.
classes.
They ain't had that shit like that when we was growing up. So it's like shit, all we had was shit, bullshit, bad shit, fun to do. It's easier to do the good shit. We ain't had no guidance back then.
It's sad because there was a high school that was in Winton. Like I said, it was called Winton Place, and then there was Winton Terrace, where the housing project was. But the people who lived in Winton Place did not want to be associated with Winton Terrace. So, like 20 years ago, I think they changed the name to Spring Grove Village. But in Winton Place, or now Spring Grove Village, as it would be considered, there was a high school there, and it was called CAPE, and it was Cincinnati Academy of Physical Education. And let me tell you, the talent that came out of CAPE, the athletes that came out of CAPE, some of them went to the NFL, some of them started track. And tell me that part. Do you remember CAPE? I had a lot of friends who went to CAPE. Like I said, they would beat everybody in the city. It was like the best physical talent in the city went to Cape, and it was in the city of Cincinnati, and they would go and compete with some of the other schools throughout the greater Cincinnati area. And a couple of those was like Muller. Muller like produced a lot of like professional baseball players. King Griffey Jr. went to Muller. They were high school football powerhouses. There was Xavier. There were these Catholic schools, or Xavier wasn't a Catholic school. I forgot what they call themselves, but they are a private school. And Cape would come through and whoop their asses. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the A word. And they disbanded Cape. So a lot of these kids that even lived in Winton Terrace, because they could literally walk to Cape, went to these schools. They were very talented. And when they took the arts out of the school, like music and art and all those creatives and even the athleticism, they kind of taken out of school. And what triggered that was when he was talking about the rec center. They always had the rec center, of course, for them to play basketball, but a lot of talent came out of Cape. And I'm not sure how long Cape lasted, maybe 10 years, but the other schools was hating on it and they got rid of it. I'm not sure if they're using that school building anymore. I believe they are. But yeah, it was called the Academy, sorry, the Cincinnati Academy of Physical Education, and they were the truth. And I believe it started in the 80s, and I don't think it even made it to the 90s. If it did, it was the early 90s. But isn't that funny how when we start excelling, when we start excelling and showing the power, the blood, the the gifts that our ancestors passed down to us, they take it away. They take it away. And obsessed with the mess. What happened to it? Like I said, the powers that be, money talks and pride, talks, but real growth and prosperity walks. It was a way for a lot of our young people. Like I said, I know quite a few young people that it gave them a sense, a purpose. It gave them, the spirit that they could believe in themselves and they can do things. And they took that away. We don't have anything like that anymore, and it kept them off the streets. A lot of the young men, especially that I knew, and that because back then they didn't have, women's sports wasn't really taken off in college, but a lot of young men football went to Big Ten, and when it even went to the the NFL, off of going to this particular school, or ran track, or even just got a scholarship to go away to school based on the athletics. Yeah, and I see. Tell me that part. That you said you went to SPCA, and SPCA is still thriving, and I love it too because people send their kids there. They don't care. You see little white kids down there in the hood because that's where our SPCA school is at. Our school of performing arts, Cincinnati School of Performing Arts. They don't care. They will drop their kids off. They come from suburbs. They come from money because they're getting a good education down there. And just to toot my horn, my high school was in one of the quote unquote hoods. It was in Evanston. And she probably was in Evanston too. I would love to check her. I want to check her videos to see. And it's a top rated school. It's like if it's not number one, it's at least number two or three. It's in the top five all the time in the state of Ohio. And you had to test, and you still do. You have to test to get into it. And nationwide, it's always one of the top performing schools. And luckily, they haven't crushed that school because a lot of the majority community still sends their kids there because they can get a free education, a top notch free education from this particular school. So, yeah, it's amazing to me. Like I said, outside the academia, because the reason why they haven't squashed Squashwana Hills has been around since like 1910, maybe, but it's because people with big money, people with the paper, they send their kids to that school. Okay, they send their kids to that school, and they're not going to get rid of it. It performs well on a state level and a nation wide level. But Cape, it was just I guess it was a bridge too far for them.
For real. Now they got shit going on at the rent office for the kids, karate classes, all type of shit.
Do you feel like that stuff can help the direction of the ghettos in general?
Yeah, get the kids. I'm gonna tell y'all now, kids. We doing this shit. This shit not. No, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna like when you lose your niggas. That shit hurt.
You gotta be on every
You ain't gonna
car,
want
be
on
on
every
team.
car. You really can't go to no parties because it take one call, motherfucker come through. Now you, that shit going on.
Girl.
Yo, ass either gone, you shot,
Hey,
or
look,
you
don't
just
forget.
now you want it for doing something to it. Then.
Don't forget to look. Long live Trav, man.
Yeah, long live Trav, real.
Man, long live my fucking cameraman, man. Real
He
shit.
had faith in us. He had faith in us. Niggas did some hand shit. They killed the cameraman. You don't get no props for that. He wanted the youth to make it out of here. He seen something in us.
Long live who's strong.
Yeah, they ain't even ready for that, baby.
Hey, we out with. They won't even doing deals or nothing.
Hey, look. Hey, Black, y'all say something to the camera, man.
Don't let us out. We out here.
Hey, look.
We doing the interview.
Look, tell them, look, they been here. They watched us, they watched me grow up, man.
Don't play out here. This shit ain't for no joke, man. It's either get 8, man.
For real.
Bullshit.
For real, man. Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, man. Zone or nothing, man.
Every day. We got to get every day, too, man.
He watched me grow up.
For sure, they youngin'.
Real trenches.
We do this shit.
This big brother here interviewing shit. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like,
RP John, man. RP the gunner, man. My nigga John got killed right here, man. My nigga John got killed right here, man. RP, man. Just the guys, man. This is Brody right here, man. Y'all know what's going on, man.
That's real deal out here, man.
Good shit, man.
Good shit.
All love and no love.
I think it's time people do not come here. We can't get shit to come here. Not a food place, not a weed, man.
I ain't from out here, but shit, I was welcome. So
Yeah,
you ain't welcome.
Like I
Yeah,
told
you ain't welcome. Your ass gonna get 8, boy.
the whole shit to the team, man.
No bullshit.
We out here every day, man.
Look, this all you hear every day. Sirens and all type of shit. This shit is all day.
This is real OG right here.
How you feel like?
We doing an interview.
Let me ask you a question. How you feel like a lot of this stuff can change inside the ghettos?
Everybody got to stay together, man. It's too much hate. Niggas don't know how to stay together. Everybody stay together and come together, man. This shit'll be cool, but everybody hating on each other, man. It ain't gonna never work. Niggas gotta grow up, man. Yeah, I want no part. We trying to take care of kids, get some money, man. Niggas don't like that. You can't have $1 more than a nigga, man, without him trying to do something. Give them hell for the summer. You gotta stay on it out here, man. You gotta big sticks. Damn, he got the damn.
Hey, we going this week.
Dang,
Oh yeah, we don't get no grass over here. There ain't no grass.
It's all grass.
it's really never grass.
Like you don't know. Like imagine young boy you playing football in the mud.
I ain't gonna lie, this is where we play football at, right over this fence.
I used to park all my strikers down here.
My first day coming outside out here, man, I broke my wrist. You won't believe it. I was really in the house. Look, I was really in the house game head. Like, that's how I used to be. Like, I was a game head. Like him, I ain't come outside, like, unless I would come to play basketball. That's it.
He used to have to trick this nigga. Like, let's go to the rec. Nobody don't go to the rec. Now I'm about to go in the house, right? Like, type lame shit he yo.
So which one of y'all can actually like hoop for real?
Man, me, all of us right here.
Right here, I'm most definitely. I'm 3-point shooter.
That's all you can do. Hey, look, y'all, I'm tired as hell, but I'm uncoordinated like a motherfucker.
I'm sorry, y'all. I guess my trash, so I had to hurry up and phone. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to try to restart my computer. I don't know what's going on. So let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Okay, so let me restart my computer. I don't know what happened here. Let me tell you, I do so much on my poor little laptop. It may have just given out on me. I keep saying that I'm going to clean it out, but what I probably end up doing before things get too high, with these tariffs and everything, is to buy myself another laptop. But what I was basically saying is that these young men, this is, listen, a part of it, I think, is just the society that we live in. Unfortunately, in my city, they've shut down the kids. There's really nothing for young people to do. And I feel for them because, I was from a generation where we had stuff to do. We had stuff to do. And I think idle time, is what they say, what the devil's workshop. And that's what I'm getting here is that these kids don't have a lot to do. Let's be honest. And the one young man was saying how he used to stay in the house and play video games all the time. Well, we stayed outside. That was our video game. Um, the it, I did, like I said, I watched this whole thing. Well, not this whole thing. I kind of skimmed it, and I know there's a certain point where they talk about not, hustling is not a lifestyle that they really want. And I can definitely understand that, and I can rock with that. But it's their reality right now, basically, and that's the part that's sad for me. They're looking at like music, getting into music and doing things like that. Let me see if we're back, if the ship is back righted. Let me see if you guys can hear me. The the app, and let me see what happens here. Cause they have me up here twice. Can you guys hear me now? I'm back on my laptop. I don't know. I don't want to end my live, but I'm trying to get out of the browser. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. Let me remove myself from my phone. This is all new. And Vicky, this is like my biggest nightmare if you're still in here. Like, YouTube, sorry, not YouTube, but StreamYard can be quirky. So bear with me. So let me see if I can get myself out of this. Ooh, hold on. Okay, I think I figured it out. Yeah, it's a little tricky. But this was a spot where I wanted to end anyway. I hate that this all glitched. But the neighborhood itself, I'll just be honest with you, it doesn't look a lot. It doesn't really look different from what it looked um 30 to 40 years ago. I could literally jump in my car right now and be over in this particular area in probably about 20 minutes. The only thing that's changed to me is that I know the young man, he mentioned that, oh, there's a sense of community and um, all of that, but I'm not sure if the community is set up like I remember it. And when I say I remember it, it was a lot more kids out playing. And I know this. I don't know when. Let me look and see when this video was done. Let's see if I can pull up this video. This video was 3 months ago. This was back in February, so it was cold. And for them to come out for her, listen, I don't like the cold weather, so that was awfully nice of her. Um, but yeah, this was a pretty interesting video in a sense. Just kind of looking at the city. There are some videos out here where the people are talking about the different neighborhoods, and they're actually like driving through the neighborhoods. I like those too. I was watching one of those earlier before I came on live, but then I picked up this video because I remember that I was subscribed to this young lady and I wanted to show her some love. And again, her channel is Nashan Clay. And I believe, like she said earlier, that she is, I want to say she's from the Indianapolis area. But just to kind of give you, this is a short video and then I'll let you guys go. But this is a pretty short video, and it shows a part of Cincinnati at night. They're showing. I can pull it up. I'm trying to go through my history. Just bear with me. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I found it. But it's a short video. It's only like 4 minutes, and this is the downtown area. I kind of like the drive-throughs a little better because I believe it leaves everything up to the interpretation of the person who's watching it to ask questions as they're looking around. So let me pull this one up real quick. Hopefully, my computer will not crash on me again, but let me pull this one up. And this video is titled "Cincinnati Hoods at Night," and this is what we call our West End over the Rhine area of the city. And he kind of drives through it at night, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I figure out what's going on with the sound. I don't know what's going on with the sound on this video. Let me try to refresh it and see if it'll do anything. I tell you what, StreamYard will take you through it. I swear. And I guess the only way to get good at it is to keep practicing. So he's in the West End, which is our downtown area, which is basically next to the Ohio River, which is a rock grove from the state of Kentucky. And I believe this video about what this was done a month ago. Now, right there, where those men are hanging out, that is, I think it says St. Aloysius. So basically, it's almost like a drop-in center for like the homeless. And he's coming out on Liberty Street, which it's funny because if you go on the other side, like where that car just turned left, that's the gentrified area. Like I was saying earlier, Winton Terrace ain't gentrified. Nobody's trying to take over that area. On the west side, There's an area called English Wood, and tell me that part was talking about that. It has some amazing views of the city of Cincinnati. We're in a valley, so there are some amazing views. And I know at one point there were developers looking into taking over that housing project, but when Terrace, nobody's trying to take that over. This downtown area, because it's next to the West End area, is next to our downtown, which is our business area, is being heavily gentrified. So literally the street, this is a Shell gas station. If you keep going through the red light, the further you go south on the street, the more gentrified it becomes. Right, by Music Hall. Listen, you tell me that part. Alabama Fish Bars on Liberty, that's my spot. I don't go that often. I may hit it up maybe a couple times a year, and I am just amazed. I had like I because I was trying to get back to the highway, or actually Spring Grove. I had to do basically a circle, and I had to go down an alley. And I remember when I first started like going downtown or being in that part of downtown, there was nothing there. Now they have all these walk ups, built these brand new walk ups, and it's really it's been gentrified. Believe me. So there's people hanging out at night. This is what I said a month ago, so this would have been back in April. A lot of the construction you're seeing is because they're rehabbing these buildings, and the West End is next to our quote unquote over the Rhine area, which was heavily German back in the turn of the century. Um, the bones in these buildings are wonderful. They're excellent, and a lot of people are moving back into the city. They, of course, they did the white flight. They moved out to the suburbs, but a lot of them got tired of driving, 20 to 30 minutes in traffic to get to downtown where they work. And then you have a lot of younger people who just want that city living. So that video was quicker than I thought. But that's part of the West End that I just kind of want to show you that it's that's being gentrified, and it's still it's really there's a lot of urban blight. That's what I call it. There's a lot of urban blight there, which it's kind of sad to me because um, it leads to a lot of loitering. And but I guess on the flip side to that, they're getting it ready. I'm trying to get rid of this. They're getting it ready to move in the people that they want into the community. So um, I kind of got thrown off. So for you guys who have channels, and I know I said what I said in Victor the Veil, they have channels. StreamYard is, and that's what I'm using to share my screen with. It can be very nerve wracking, and it can throw off everything, and that's what happened here. So tell me that part. Yes, when you come back to Cincinnati, Alabama, Fish Bar is still down there. The social life on Main Street and Vine, it's still a thing. It still is. The city has. I wish our downtown hadn't got away from what it used to be. It was a strategic move to make it more business friendly, and to me, it's not very family friendly. I think that's what they were going for. But as you get closer to the river, they have the Banks area, the Serpentine Wall. That's still going on. Now, I did see a news story a couple of days ago where they are where they have opened up a new pool. So, and I'm not sure where that's at, but they said it was in over the Rhine. So they are moving people in. They're steadily moving in, and the rents are outrageous. It's so funny to me when I go down there and I see somebody like walking their dog and just kind of. I'm like, it's just strange. I'm not saying it's totally a bad thing, but I think they should make it reasonable for everyone to be able to purchase down there if they want to. I had coworkers when I was working, in the downtown area or the Clifton area, they would buy or rent property down in the West End. Like I said, the bones in that community, the structures are awesome. The architecture is wonderful. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this live. I feel like my rhythm. I'm really mad at Streamyard right now. But most importantly, I wanted to jump on here to kind of touch base with everybody. I know, like I said, I've been MIA on this channel. What this channel is going to be or what it's going to have on it, it's a toss up. I really just like hanging out with like minded people, talking about things that matter, um, and providing a space where we can talk. We can meet in the town square called the internet. And tell me that part. I really enjoyed your input. It's really nice to know that somebody is looking to come back to the city. And I have quite a few friends that moved away and now they are coming back or they came back a while ago because home is home. And here I am trying to leave home. And you're absolutely right. I said what I said. When they rebuild, it pushes the poor people out. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And the part that frustrates me is that our city, my city, is like 50-50. And so it's like 50% black, 50% white or other. So we have a very big voice. I'm in Hamilton County. So we're very active in our community, and I kind of imparted that to you. There's a lot of growth still to be had. I don't think we're fully evolved. I feel like ethnically, that's what it is black and white. A couple of weeks ago, we had the Asian Food Fest, and I think that's been going on for quite a while, but it's not as big as I think it should be. I just wish my city was more diverse. So when I was able to get out and travel the world, I consider myself a world traveler. I mean, how many people have been to Southeast Asia? Okay, I got my butt on a flight and I went all the way to Thailand. And once I got out of the Western bubble, I realized that now, well, I always knew the world was bigger, but even coming back to the city and being here, and I know there's other places like New York, even places down south. Um, there are other places, even in the Midwest, that has more diversity. Tell me that part. I don't know how you feel about. I know you say your parents are still here, so I'm assuming you come back and visit quite a bit. But diversity is to me is lacking in Cincinnati. I got my diversity from going to high school, even when I went to college, because unfortunately, and I say this with tongue in cheek, I had to go to the my local university. I wanted to go out of state. I wanted to go away from home, but I didn't get that diversity even on in my college experience. And when I come here to Cincinnati, it's really black or white. I hate to say it, and it's still that way. Yes, I see other communities coming in. Yes, I do see that. But even when I go to Columbus, which is about 2.5 hours, or about 2 hours away, I see even more of an African community. I see more of an Asian community. In Cincinnati, I do see there is more of a Hispanic community. We get a lot of Guatemalans, a lot of Central Americans, but the diversity is lacking, and I like that diversity. So me leaving the country, or I've been out of state too, and I when I go out of state, I do notice the diversity. The last place I would say, well, the last place I went where I saw a lot of diversity was Las Vegas. Shout out to Las Vegas, Vicky. There was a lot more diversity. I saw a lot more Hispanics. I saw a lot more Asians. I know it's a big tourist city, but I like being around other people. And I know there's problems potentially that come with that. But when I went out of the country, they don't have a concept of me being a black woman. When I was in Thailand, they didn't see me as a black woman from the United States or a black woman with all those, prejudgments. They just saw me as not Thai. And I do like that because they don't care. They don't care where you're from. If you're not from Thailand, you're not Thai. You're called a Farang. So So if you're from Australia, you're from Ireland, you're from Russia, you're not a black person, or they don't categorize you. You're not just a black person. You're a foreign. You're a foreigner. You're not Thai. And there are way more. The advancements in technology you see in South Asia is mind blowing. Yeah, there's a lot to be desired. I mean, there's some concerns like with maybe like uh, sewage system and things like that. You can't drink the water from the tap, and yeah, you may have some questionable coding or things like that. But I stayed in a five-star hotel for $65 a night. You can't get that here in the United States. I was able to get Wi-Fi service for 30 days. I think I paid 50. I think was it $15, and that was too high. You could probably get it if I was there. You could probably get it for like $8 or $9. And now with everything going on in this country, I just kind of want to get out of this bubble. So, but I also too, I'm a realist, so I'm here, and I just wanted to share a little bit of my city. So, moving forward, I'm going to look at some other videos. Um, one of the things I really like to do, and I have talked about this in the past. I really like to do body cam reactions because in light of what's going on in my city, but also me being an ex law enforcement, I really think I bring a different perspective to that. But doing these city layouts kind of give you an idea of how everyday living or part of everyday living is in my city. Unfortunately, they don't do these videos for the quote unquote rich neighborhoods. Maybe that's a niche that I can look into. I'm just spitballing here, but yeah, I just like I said, I really liked her approach, and that she didn't question a lot. I think she gets a little better. This video is not that old, but I think she asked more questions because they kind of took the lead and she kind of went along with them, and they really didn't show her too much. But then again, what can you expect? They weren't expecting her, and um, yeah, I tell me what you think in the comments if you're watching this on a replay. If I'm up again tomorrow night, which I probably will be, I might go ahead and fire up this camera and chit chat with you guys. And for everybody who joined me tonight, outside of all the technical difficulties, I'm going to pray I said what I said that this gets better. I know you've been working with different platforms, so you can let me know which one you like better, because I know you've tried out this one. And do you mess around with Restream? Um, but I think that yeah, going live is something different. Going live is something different, and yeah, Las Vegas is very diverse. Um, champions. Let me start. See, I'm reading your comments and I'm not even highlighting them because I'm just so used to being in the chat and not hosting the chat. Champion said I watched a was that BW travel agent in Thailand yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I love Thailand. And I will say the one thing that I will say I enjoyed everything. It's hot there. I went to the Grand Palace. I have footage that I need to upload, and it was hot. But I did not enjoy the food as much as I thought I would. If you watch any videos for Thailand, they make the food look so good. And maybe it's my being raised by a mom who cooked Southern, my Southern palate, but I like flavors, or maybe it's a Western palate. And they are heavily influenced by Chinese, the Chinese community. So their food to me was, I would say, there was two things. It was either bland or it was super hot. And I always said they were just throwing peppers and chilies on everything because they don't fool around with seasoning. But I also learned since I came back that probably the approach should have been to kind of eat where the locals eat and not where the tourists eat. But Thailand is beautiful. Like I said, it was hot, but I like hot weather. I'm a summer baby, and I said what I said. You said yes, you do restream. Let's see here. it's almost like StreamYard as far as functions. I think I'm just trying to do too much, to be quite honest. And I haven't fooled around with the live in such a long time. I think you kind of get a rhythm. Would you agree to that? That you kind of develop a rhythm to this? Because I do want to come live. I hate editing videos, and that's one of the reasons too. I mean, outside of doing the transcripts for the Ernesto Williams stuff, when I decide to do a video, it's like, oh, I got to edit it versus going live. So I think that I'll just kind of pop on live, and I think I'm leaning towards doing the body cam reactions because, like I said, I can just do them surface wise, but the reality is I can't because I used to do the job. So I look at it from a level, I critique it probably a little bit differently than your normal content creator. And I think that would be interesting. I think so. So you guys let me know what you think. Let me see what you said there. I said what I said. Yes, you have to keep doing lives, but I had to get. Oh, you got you a gaming PC. I thought about that. I'm like, ugh, that's a lot of money, but with the graphics and the memory and slowing down, I was just trying to avoid it. To be quite honest, sis. So you got a gaming PC. I was thinking about getting a desktop because desktops are they don't cost as much. They're actually cheaper than laptops. But you know that one of the issues or one of the things I've identified with StreamYard really was not set up with how we're using it. It was mainly set up to do like seminars and to do trainings. It wasn't really set up for the way we're doing it. And it's ironic to me they increased the price, but they are not. I don't think they're paying attention to the way we're using it because the reaction community is a community that's using it in a broader sense. I think they're still focused in on people who are using it for training. So they haven't looked at some of the things that's probably making it so heavy or making it heavier for us, the reactors out here. So that's just the way I feel about it when it comes down to it. I think that's one of the biggest problems with StreamYard. And that's why I was kind of hoping that maybe Restream has figured it out. But the secret is, to be quite honest, this was built on the OBS system. And the one thing that this has that OBS doesn't have built into it is the ability to bring people up on the panel, and that could just be a plug-in. But there is a free, it's open software and it's called OBS, and that is what StreamYard and Restream and all these are built on. And I was an early adapter to OBS, but I like the ability to bring people up on the screen with me, and that's one of the reasons why I came over to StreamYard. But and I've been trying to cancel my membership, but I keep forgetting my date because I do believe they offer a better price uh, than what they're currently offering on the monthly because they went up. They went up quite a bit when they were bought out by another company. And champions, don't forget to download all your photos on a flash drive before your computer crashes. Thank you. Let me tell you, I pretty much everything's in the cloud. Everything's going to my Google Cloud, fortunately. And your sis, I know when it becomes critical mass. I have been dealing with computers for a long time. I can go back to like the late 90s, early 2000, actually putting in a burner so I can burn CDs, a drive into my tower. I remember spending like 2 and 3 days getting rid of Trojans and viruses on my computer. Now I don't want to do that anymore. I don't, and I won't. I would just go buy another computer before I do that. But all of my important pictures, all the things that I need, everything's on a cloud, and I even keep because I think Google offers a pretty decent product for free. I got all my passwords just in case for backup. So if I have to get a new laptop, everything will move over with me. Um, I have what do you call that? I wouldn't say refresh. What is that? Where you basically strip your computer back down to bare necessities, but it will keep your files. I've done it all, and but I'm tired of it. I'm like, listen, this laptop I have now is only like maybe 2.5 years old, and I shouldn't have to be looking at getting a new laptop. But that's the way they're making them. So I am looking at the gaming computer. I said what I said, but I know that I mean, like right now, I'm working on I have an an Intel Core i7, and I got was it the specs on it is 512 gigabytes and 8 gigahertz. I know I have probably to go up, sorry, gigabytes of system memory. I think I probably need to go up to 16. But it's crazy. Now, I think the graphic card, and that's what your gaming computer does for you. I said what I said. The graphic card seems to be a little better and run a lot smoother. But so yeah, I would definitely look into a gaming laptop or a desktop just to see which one is better. But I'm going to wind down this live because now I'm just talking. I'm getting into geek speak. I am a nerd at heart. I'm a blurred or black nerd. Okay. And we're already running up on 3 o'clock in the morning. So thank you guys for humoring me and let me kind of work this out as I hit my hiccups. Yeah, that's what I thought. You have a 16. I just helped my mother get a new laptop because she must play her Sims. Listen, my mother is she'll be 78 this year, still working part time. But but can't look at a text message or respond to a text message. But she can sure get on her desktop and play that darn Sims game. And when that Sims game started acting up because her computer was too old, we had to get her a new computer, and that was one of the things that I looked for. Was trying to give her as much memory as I could. Champion says, I took my computer to Best Buy Geek Squad to download my photos. My computer is acting funny style. Yeah. Those they are great. Like I said, I'm tired of doing it myself, and I hate to say it, but not that I have money to throw away, but it's sad that a laptop, I think, to me, after 2 3 years you're gonna have to buy a new one. This is my fourth laptop I think that I bought. I have my old laptop here. um it's still it's a bigger laptop. I wanted something smaller. I'm thinking about getting a Mac. I don't know, that's a lot of money, but a lot of people I know have Macs don't have that issue that they have with PC. And I never wanted to be an Apple head, but if if the the Mac computer lasts longer, I think that might be a better investment. But also, too, I'm a heavy user. Outside of what I'm doing right here now, I do a lot on the internet, and and actually a big part of my business, the thing that I do when I'm not here with you guys or chatting it up, it involves me using my computer, and I use a lot of memory now. I use a lot of space, and well, it is what it is. But yeah, let me go ahead and say good night to you, good people, and thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to put on my intro. My intro should start off on its own, but I did this song, and I actually this is an AI creation. I think it's great. So you guys tell me what you think of the song, and hopefully I won't disappear on you guys. And we can chat it up again on live, whether it's during the afternoon, evening, or late night. And so until I upload or go live again, everybody, please have a great night. I'm out.